And here we are, 5:48, Monday morning, public holiday Monday, Buddha's birthday. Quiet again. I'm taking a different route this morning. There's one Western guy who's more of a regular these days. He probably wonders why I'm talking to myself. Beijing Palace Museum on the left, and this is the end of the dual carriageway driveway through, or rather next to WKCD. We can see in the distance one woman jogging. She's a daily regular, good running style, very efficient. But today I shall exit WKCD and head over to the roof of the high-speed rail terminal, which will take about 5 minutes or 10 minutes maximum, and take some shots from up there. Right now we're next to the Western Tunnel entrance. Not much traffic at this time of the morning. One or two vehicles, but also occasional performance vehicles going through at high speed with tremendous noise. We're facing northwards through Choi, the Langham Place tall building with the dome on top. That's actually a good half hour's walk away. It's difficult to tell the distance from here. Just having a easy jog, easy walk, allowing time for the limbs to loosen up. Enjoying the ambient temperature, which is just as nice as the past couple of days. Not sure if it's too visible on the camera, but looking northeast towards Chunwan, it's a little bit misty. Overhead clouds. 1.15 kilometers already. So let's get in a bit of jogging. Otherwise it's going to take far too long to get round to the high-speed rail terminal. Legs feeling okay. Oh, I see today they have the barrier across. There should be a gap wide enough to squeeze through. Well, perhaps I can make one. All chained up. That's something of a nuisance. Just have to go the long way around. Time is, it's not yet 6 a.m. I think probably the gate is open 6:30. So no point waiting. This fellow on the left with the white top and blue bag. He's also daily regular, but not for exercise. Although he did started doing a bit of exercise a few months ago. Seems to have stopped again. Bunny hops and that kind of thing. Such a peaceful morning. Guy we just passed on the right. Blue top is also a regular. Oh, opening the gate now. So I could have waited a couple of minutes. Elderly lady on the left, also a bit of a regular. Comes out the WKCD, stands right by the harbour, getting fresh air, doing traditional Chinese exercises. But there's a couple of people, they're doing sort of self-massage with their hands, open hands, batting themselves on the arms and legs, on the back. Not just gently, fairly firmly. It's supposed to be good for the muscles. Now, we're right next to the entrance lanes to the Western Tunnel, start of the expressway leading to various parts of Hong Kong, including Lantau, Disneyland, the airport. Let's just step out, plenty of space. Now, skyline dominated by Langham Place, which is a commercial development. It includes another low-rise building, which I think is a hotel, Langham Hotel Mongkok. Shopping mall in the first few floors. Couple of other regulars coming up. This is the other part of the typhoon shelter with all these working vessels. Slightly more wind up here. It's still fresh. Just a pleasant breeze. No traffic. Okay, let's go. Taking my life in my hands, but actually it's very quiet. This junction, there's no cars coming around this side, and the other lights are red, so it's no problem. That's this real start of the expressways. Usual construction sites everywhere. This old Indian guy is a regular. Hey, good morning.
Morning.
Friendly guy. I think he likes to demonstrate laughing yoga. Now we can start seeing one part of the high-speed rail complex. So back in the middle we can see the footbridge, and the rail terminal proper is on the right. And needless to say, it's been closed for months and months and months. No sign yet of it reopening. On the left, mainly a bus terminal, quite some size, but happily the roof was designated for public use. It's mainly paved, as you might expect, but plenty of trees and foliage to lighten the overall mood, so it's not a complete concrete jungle. Well, here we go. Yet another building site here. It's not yet in full swing, but it's getting started. Actually, there's two building sites. That one over there with a crane seems to be separate. This one right in front is actually huge. All right. These are the Sorrento on the right, part of the Cowland Station residential and commercial complex, which I've talked about before. Let's get going up the steps. So you start seeing more people. These are more likely to be regulars here, although occasionally you see one or two people who are also regulars at WKCD. They don't often come over here, so I don't really qualify as a regular of both places. It's just a pleasant change of scenery, different views. Actually particularly good views at one end, looking northwards over Takokchai. Just by the time you reach the end, you're halfway there at least. And going southwards, good views over Hong Kong Harbour and Central District. So, almost fully paved, actually very convenient because city dwellers don't like to run on mud. Nicely interspersed with bushes and trees. It also attracts plenty of birds, especially this time of the morning. I was saying about a few oldies coming out, or should I say senior citizens. Hey. That must be the dog's owner. Seems to be carrying the lead. So, dog chases after him eventually. Okay, almost at the end. I've just put on the mask. Got a few people over here. Some of them are wearing the mask, even though they don't need to. Yeah. Long way towards Sakok Choi, Mongkok West. Yet another huge building site. Not too sure what's going to be here eventually. Notice all the solar panels on the roof of this site building. Let's just run round to the far side. Oh boy, are you going to say hello? Hello boy. There are man buildings. Looking over towards Mongkok and West Mongkok. The way this is designed is quite good. Quite varied walkways with a predominance of trees and bushes. So it's nice to have the variety when running around. Just now I was able to run in a long straight line, maybe a couple of 100 meters. Now there are more changes of direction. Again, all nicely designed to be a community facility. Footbridges, staircases, even got lifts for people to come up here. Seldom, almost never out here in the middle of the day, but I dare say it's quite busy. A lot more people than now. Unfortunately, some parts not open. I don't know why this one isn't. Seems to be closed permanently, which is a shame. Oh, I see they've got some cell phone antenna and such like, so it's not intended for public use. So I guess it's okay. Dead ahead, yes, yet another construction site. I think that's the main site, probably the largest, deriving from the high-speed rail terminal, designated for commercial and or residential. So, one of the local property developers had to tender an enormous amount of money to secure the site. Needless to say, it's a hugely valuable piece of property. I'll go round to the other side of the main roof, but it's probably blocked off still at this time of the morning. Now looking eastwards along Jordan Road, which will be very busy later. On the left, the building with the orange tiled or brick fascia, that's Austin Station, part of the KCR system. It's all very convenient, fully connected with other public transport facilities in Hong Kong, right under our feet, or rather actually going back to the previous section. That's the bus terminus. There's actually another bus and PLB terminus under Element Shopping Mall, which we shall see later. I'm still surprised, rather like the past 2 days, that there's relatively few people coming out to enjoy the early morning air through a public holiday weekend, today being Monday, as I recited at the beginning. At least I think I did. Upmarket residential project on the right called the Austin. That's quite impressive. Seems like every flat has a balcony, if you can actually call it a balcony. Maybe big enough for a dog kennel, but not much else. Now let's see. Let's check what time these gates are open. See, that's an entrance to the high-speed rail terminal proper, gated for months. Oh, 7 o'clock. 1 more hour. Oh. Oh. It's open, it's open. That's not open. That's closed at 7 a.m. This one is still open, which is good. Okay, here we go. 7 a.m. till 10 p.m. Sky Corridor. Another day I need to come up when it's open, because you can see the curved roof up ahead, which I think is blocked off. But it is possible to go right to the top, and that is where you get the best views around Tsim Sha Tsui Harbour, Central Kowloon Peninsula. And we're coming round, facing southwards. You can see the Kowloon Station residential blocks on the right, including the arch. All in all, quite attractive. It's got this theme of curves, curved walkways, curved roofs, so the overall effect is quite nice. But to repeat, happily leaving lots of areas for trees, grass, bushes. You can see from those trees overhead, hardly any breeze this morning. Nobody else in sight. The only people I've passed in the past 5 minutes were the 2 security guards. One of whom was busy on his phone, the other one sitting there looking completely bored, with nothing to do. A fellow carrying a plastic chair over his shoulder. There's a good chance he's a security guard, so he wants to sit down all day, make himself comfortable. And let's see if we can get a better view of the arch in the middle. WKCD administration buildings in front, then all the construction site equipment. A lot more work to do yet, and this whole area next to the harbour. Now if we go that way, it will take us down towards Canton Road and eventually lead to Kowloon Park, but we can try that another day. On the left now, you can't see this corner of the harbour. On the left is the China Hong Kong City, the Gold Building, the designated opera building, that's Chinese opera, and Harbour City. So now if we head back towards WKCD, the town is 6:16, still early. I'm mostly walking, so have not had a great deal of exercise yet. Let's up the pace a little. Good old Element Shopping Mall. I wouldn't call that the main entrance, it's got several entrances. This one is quite imposing, I suppose deliberately because it's facing towards the harbour. Inside there is the skating rink. Good old Fairwood fast food. It's only a fairly small floor area here. You need to go up one floor and then another floor for all the shops and restaurants, main restaurants. And instead of going straight back to the arch, we'll go around this side of the road system, head back towards WKCD. It's a public holiday, so the construction site is not in operation. It's quite a big site again. But unfortunately all the gates are closed, so we cannot get a good look inside. This whole road system also has been changing from time to time. It's starting to take on a bit more permanency. It's fairly governed only by this subway underpass on the right. But the lane we're walking on now Keeps moving from one side to the other. And I see on the right-hand lane, now it's been laid with a tarmac surface, so that must be finished. What I have not yet done is finish this piece at the end here. And by the time they do that, hopefully it will make it a good deal safer. At the moment, at the end, you need to cut out to the right in the path of traffic coming out of the underpass, which is a bit dangerous. But if they maintain 2 lanes up ahead, then you will not have to cut into the other lane. I don't know if we can sneak a look inside this part of the construction site. See masses of hugely powerful construction equipment. Right now completely idle. I don't know what the daily rate is or the daily cost of such equipment, but it must be quite huge. And these ubiquitous road barriers are supposed to be filled with water, I suppose they are. So when they're not filled with water, one man can move them and assemble them, and you just need a hose to give them enough substance to act as road barriers. It's just very difficult to move. Good view of the overhead footbridge. So I saw it slowly being constructed. What was interesting is while it was being built, it was pretty much with this existing form, but way over on the left. And since they were constructing an entrance to the shopping mall on the right, I presumed that eventually they would have a way just to roll it forward over the road and then secure it on the right hand side, and that's exactly what happened. It's hard to tell now how it was actually done, but it was a nice little achievement. Now, coming back towards WKCD again, just past 6:20. If I'm going to continue walking, I need to keep going. I haven't had enough walking yet. I just saw that silver vehicle. That's a WKCD regular. Obviously, he's just finished. I was going to say, if I can manage to do a bit of jogging, actually 1 or 2 leg muscles feel a bit tired, a bit stiff. So we'll just see how it goes. So if I go out onto the road, watching out for traffic, of course. Always feels a little bit easier running on tarmac. It seems to be slightly softer than concrete, easier on the legs. I don't know if that's a false impression, but it certainly feels that way. Now I'm jogging a bit, my legs are not complaining. I think to finish today's round I might go up past the M Plus and the retail location back to the footbridge we just saw. It may be too early, but at least we can go around there and go back that way, ground level if necessary. Just intending to cover the whole area. Oh, there we go. The sign says it all. Hong Kong's new Museum of Visual Culture. Not too sure what visual culture means. And the word visual means something, so does the word culture. Can mean lots of things. It's supposed to cover everything. Everything you can think of and a lot more. Limited only by one's creative imagination. Aye. Now, quite a bit later than when we first arrived, so more vehicles. Not too many. It's not yet 6:30. A few regulars. Actually, I just thought what I think I would like to do this morning is run on the grass area. As I've said in previous videos, it's certainly easier on the joints, and it's worth doing from time to time, especially running in circles, figures of 8, tight loops. Don't intend to do anything too vigorous this morning. Now I've got these fast food vehicles, and there you go. Burgers, mainstay of every good Western diet. Not only that, Michelin rated burgers. I don't know what qualifies them for a Michelin rating. And burgers are what, ground beef? Plus whatever else you want to toss into the recipe. And the Hong Kong equivalent. This bun, that bun. Hot dog. All this good healthy cuisine available for a few dollars. This artificial grass surface is quite nice. It's only put down a while ago. It's concrete underneath. It's comfortable to walk on. Alright, now here we go. Grass. I just saw on the right the guy with the 2 angry dogs. He's giving them a longer walk than usual. I think they must be trained guard dogs. Ugly white and black crows everywhere. So a few curved runs. And my legs need a bit of loosening up. Grind the blue top is a regular.